The material you'll need for this tutorial is pink yarn, black yarn, little bit of white yarn, crochet hook. I'm using 3mm crochet hook, darning needle, scissors, sewing pins, little bit of fiber fill stuffing, and stitch markers. They are optional, but if you like to use them, it's up to you. So we're going to start by making a magic ring with 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So for the next round, you're going to do 2 single crochets in each of these 6 stitches. Let's start. Yarn over, pull it through, so by doing 2 stitches in each of these stitches, you are increasing in this round all the way through. Just to make sure that you have gotten through all the way, what I do is I start by counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that way you know that you have gone through the whole circle. Because we are not using a stitch marker in this round, we'll use it in the next one. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this is where the second round would end. The first round was the magic ring, and the second one was with increase all the way through, and you should have 12 stitches by the end of this round. So this is where I like to use my stitch marker. You can use any stitch markers that you have available, but I don't like to use them for the smaller projects like these. What I do is, if you don't have these stitch markers as well, you can use this technique. So what I do is, you know, this end that the yarn that we started with, so this is just gonna be hanging here throughout the whole project. So what I do is I pull this yarn through the stitches right here. The last stitch that we did, put the hook through and bring this yarn through that. You can use a different color yarn as well to make it more prominent, so you can see it easily, or you don't lose that stitch, or you can use the same color as well. For me it works, so I'm going to use the same color. So we'll continue with round 3. With round 3, what we're gonna do is 1 single crochet in the first stitch, and then 2 single crochet, and then 1 single crochet into the third stitch, and then 2 single crochet, and you're gonna repeat it all the way through. So let's start by doing a single crochet into the first stitch, and then 2 single crochets into the next stitch. So that's 1 and 2. So you're going to continue like that, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, 1, 2, and I'll meet you at the end of round 3. Okay, we are done with round 3, and you should have 18 single crochets by the end of this round, and make sure you move your stitch marker at the end. In round 4, we're going to have 1 single crochet in the first stitch, 1 single crochet in the second stitch, and 2 single crochets into the third one, and you're going to repeat that process all the way through. So let's start by doing single crochet into the first stitch, 1 single crochet into the second stitch, and 2 single crochets into the third stitch, and you repeat the whole process all the way through. At the end of this round you should have 24 single crochets. For the next round, round 5, so this is how you count your rounds. This is the first one, the magic ring, 1 2 3 4, and now we're starting round 5. For this round, you're gonna have 1 single crochet into the first stitch, 1 single crochet into the second, 1 single crochet into the third, and then 2 single crochets into the fourth stitch. And you're gonna repeat the same process all the way around. I'll show you the first step. So 1 single crochet into the first stitch, 1 single crochet into the second, 1 single crochet into the third, and then 2 single crochets into the fourth stitch. And you're going to repeat the same process all the way around. Okay, we are done with round 5, and we have 30 single crochets all the way through. In the next round, we're gonna do 1 single crochets into the first 4 stitches, and then 2 single crochet into the 5th stitch. Okay, let's start round 6. So 1 single crochet into the first stitch, 1 single crochet into the second stitch, 1 single crochet into the third, 1 single crochet into the fourth, and 2 single crochets into the 5th stitch. And then you're going to repeat that process all the way through, and I'll meet you at the end of this round 6. Okay, when you're done with round 6, you should have 36 single crochets all the way around, and your pattern should look somewhat like this by now. You should always be able to finish the round with the 2 single crochets into the same stitch. If you are finishing the round with 1 single crochet, that means you have miscounted them, or you are missing 1 stitch or something. So it's good always to go back and count your stitches again if you haven't missed anything. From here on, you will do 4 rounds of single crochet into the each stitch. So we are not increasing anything. This time we're just doing single crochet all the way around for 4 rounds. Don't forget to move your stitch markers at the end of each round, and I'll meet you at the fourth round of single crochets. Okay, at the at the end of round 4, your pattern should look like this. It should start curving up to form a ball. So now from here on, we're going to change the color to our second color, which I chose the pink one right here. So what we're going to do for the last stitch, let's take this out for a second. So we're going to go back to our last stitch, insert the hook, and pull the same color black, 2 loops on your hook, and now we're going to add our second color. So you're going to hold the end of this yarn and pull it through instead of pulling the black one through the loops, like that. And just make sure you tuck them so it's not too big. And you'll work with this yarn now, the pink one, the same way we did before. Okay, and from here on, we're gonna do the same thing as we did with black. 4 rounds of single crochet into the each stitch all the way around, and I'll see you at the end of round 4. After the 4 rounds of single crochets with pink yarn, we're gonna start to decrease our pattern. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna do 4 single crochets. So 1 single crochet into the first, 1 to the second, 1 into the third, and 1 into the fourth stitch. And now we're gonna do 2 single crochets into 1 stitch, like together. So what you're gonna do is to do that, you're gonna insert your hook into the first stitch, pull yarn through, and then insert the hook into the next stitch again, pull the yarn through. You should have 3 loops on your hook, and then you're going to yarn over and pull it through all 3 of them. That's how you decrease. So you're going to do 4 single crochets again into the next stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 single crochets together. So this is the second one, yarn over, pull it through all 3 loops, and you're going to continue like that all the way through. Okay, at the end of round 15 you should have 30 single crochets all the way around. For the next round, round 16, what you're going to do is 3 single crochets into the next stitches. So 1 single crochet, 2, 3, and then 2 single crochets together, and then repeat the same process all the way through, and I'll meet you at the end of round 16. At the end of round 16 you should have 24 single crochets all the way around. For round 17 we're gonna do 2 single crochets into the next 2 stitches, single crochet into the first stitch, 1 single crochet into the second stitch, and then 2 single crochets together. And you're going to repeat the same process all the way through, and I'll meet you at the end of round 17. Okay, at the end of round 17 you should have 18 single crochets all the way around, and from here on we're going to start filling the fiber fill stuffing in here. So here I have my stuffing. So what you're going to do is going to take small pieces and start filling it tightly. Make sure you get all the corners and try to make it even on all sides. Okay, once you're done stuffing the ball, and make sure it's firm enough the way you like it, we can move on to the next round. So for this round you're gonna do 1 single crochet into the first stitch, and then 2 single crochets together, and repeat all the way around. So 1 single crochet into the first stitch, and then 2 single crochets together, and then you repeat all the way around. At the end of this round 18 you should have 12 single crochets all the way around. For round 19 we're gonna do decreasing all the way around, no single crochet in between. So you're gonna be going first stitch, pull it through, second single crochet, pull it through, and then all together. And then you're going to repeat that all the way around, and you should have 6 decreases like that all the way around. Okay, we'll do this together. Make sure you tighten this round because you have a filling in there, so sometimes it's hard to make it tight enough. Okay, so after completing this round, we're gonna go ahead and cut the yarn. Make sure you leave a little bit of tail so we can weave it in afterwards. So you're gonna cut the yarn. I have left about this much long, and you're gonna pull this last loop out, making it a slip stitch. Okay, and now we're going to use our darning needle and weave the tail in. So what we're going to do here is you're going to go into the next stitch right here, go under. If this one is coming from the top, we'll go under here. like that. And then for the next one, you're gonna go from the other side. This one we went from here, the next one will be from this side. Okay, and then next one from this side again, and then from inside, and then from outside again. Okay, and at the end just pull it tight to close it. There we go, it should look like that. And here we'll do a knot so it doesn't become loose again. There we go. And now you can weave this tail a little bit more, just so it doesn't open up. So what I do, I just go in randomly, find wherever you can see the bigger holes, just weave it through that, so that way you're covering those as well. There we go. And at the end you can just cut this end close. There you go. And there we have it. Okay, and you're gonna make two of these, one for Mickey Mouse and the other one is for Minnie Mouse. Okay, now we're gonna make ears, and you're gonna be needing two of those for each one, so 4 altogether, 2 for Minnie Mouse and 2 for Mickey Mouse. So we're gonna start by making a magic ring, same way we did for the body, and then 6 single crochets into the magic ring. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make sure you have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now pull one end close, and then pull the other one. There we go. Okay, and for the second round you're gonna do the same thing as we did with the body, is 2 single crochets in each of these 6 stitches. In the next round we're going to do 1 single crochet into the first stitch and 2 single crochets into the next stitch. Okay. 1, 1, 2, and you're going to repeat the same process all the way around. Okay, for round 4 you're gonna do 1 single crochet into the first 2 stitches, 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, and then 2 single crochets together into the third stitch. Okay, and you're gonna repeat that all the way around. 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and then 2 single crochets into the third stitch all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end of this round. Okay, at the end of round 4 you should have 24 single crochets all the way around, and now we're gonna just cut the yarn because we are done with 1 ear. Make sure you leave enough long tail, so that's enough to sew it onto the body. I'm leaving about 10 inches or so. What I like to do is, when you finish the round, you're gonna go into the next stitch, pull the yarn through, and then make it a slip stitch so it doesn't open. and pull the yarn all the way through and make it tight. And with this side, this tail, we're just gonna weave it through and cut the rest. So you're gonna use the needle and just go through few of the stitches like that, back and forth. There you go. You don't have to weave lots of it in because it's already tight, it's not going to open. And now just cut this extra end. There we go. So this is one ear, and make sure you make 4 of them all together. Okay, now we're gonna assemble these ears on top of the ball here. So what I like to do, I use these pins and put them where you want them to be first and pin them in place, and then you start sewing them, otherwise they can be uneven. So you're gonna put this end on the ball, and I have left about 3 rows and then start sewing it on the 4th. Let's pin them in place. Okay, and do the other one too. Make sure both of them are facing the same way. The right side is on the same side. Okay, there we have it, and they're almost, yeah, there should be almost the same distance on both sides. And now we're going to sew them in place. To sew them, what we're going to do is, let's pull the end tight first. So you're going to go into the stitch that's right under the string, right here, and pull it tight, and then go back into the ear at about the same place where the end was. There we go, and then you go back into the next stitch or so. If you feel the pins are in your way, you can move them to the side. Okay, let's remove the pins to make sure it's secure properly. Yeah, it looks pretty solid. So I always make a knot at the back of the ear, as this is the front and that's the back. So you're gonna go into the just the next stitch to it where you brought the yarn out and make a knot like that, and then you weave the end just a couple more stitches down. And you go through the next one again, and what I like to do is bring the end on the other side of the ball from the middle. Just bring it out. So we're going to tuck the end tight and cut it. There we go. And if you're still seeing a little bit of the end, I don't, but if you are, just push it under with your needle. And that finishes one ear. You can do the same process on the second ear. Okay, there we have it. So now I'm going to show you how to make a Minnie Mouse out of this. First, so we'll take our needle with the white yarn. I took a piece of about 20 inches long. You can take longer than that just to be safe, and make a knot on one side. Okay, so what we're gonna do is insert the needle from the bottom and go about into the third row or something, like right here. Just take it out from anywhere in the third row and make sure you bring the knot in so it's tucked tight. And from here on, you're just gonna make a little stitches kind of randomly, but still keeping an eye that they look even. So we'll go into the same row all the way around. So right here I have one, and then this is the second one. So it's almost like 4 stitches apart. Okay, after completing this round, you'll go 2 rows above it again, and do the same thing over here as well. When you're done with this round, you do the same thing again, go 2 rows above, and same thing over here as well. Okay, looks like we're almost done. So what you're going to do is, for the last one, you're going to put the needle through and bring it out at the end. Make sure you go through the stuffing so it's a little bit tight and it doesn't come off. We'll go here. And what we're going to do here is make our last stitch, so it's going to be kind of a knot here to secure it, and it also completes the pattern. If you see, this was our first round, so this will be right in the middle. It looks like we are completing the pattern, but we are also making a knot, so that way it's secure. And you're going to go back again and pull it out randomly anywhere you like. There we go. And you take it out here, make sure it's tight, pull and cut it, and there you go. This way you have hidden the end. Okay, now I'll show you how to make a bow for Minnie Mouse. To make the bow, we're gonna use the pink yarn, and you're gonna make a chain of 11 stitches, and going into the second stitch from the hook, you're gonna single crochet all the way through. At the end of row 1, you have 10 single crochets, so you're gonna chain 1 now and flip your work over, and you're gonna repeat the same thing over here as well. Single crochets, 10 single crochets all the way through, chain 1 and then flip it over, and you're gonna do that for 4 rounds of single crochets, and I'll meet you at the end of round 4. After round 4, you're gonna chain 1, and now we're gonna go to the side and do the same thing. We're gonna single crochet all the way around for these 3 sides. So chain 1 and go into the next stitch, single crochet, two, three, and I'll have one more here, 4. So 4 single crochets, and then you're going to chain 1 again, and now repeat the same thing on this side as well. And this time I'm gonna start tucking this end in there too, so we don't have to do it afterwards. So you're just gonna hold this end with this hand, and as you go, just tuck it around. At the end of this round, you're going to chain 1 again and repeat it on this side. For the last stitch, we're going to go into the next single crochet and slip stitch to finish the work. Now just cut the yarn and pull this end through. I'm just going to cut this little bit of the last end as well. Just take your darning needle now and weave this end in. Now you'll take another piece of pink yarn about 15-16 inches long. Use your needle again. And just check to make sure which one is the right side facing you. You're just gonna put this needle into the middle of the bow So you're going to go under, and then over into the next row and bring it out again, under, and bring it out at the end again. Pull it through, and now we're just gonna squeeze this, make it tight. There you go. And now what we're gonna do is start wrapping this one side around the bow. Make sure you hold this tight in the middle as you go. Wrap it around a couple times. Okay, and we'll do the same thing from this side as well. Just making sure they are in the opposite direction. Okay, at the end when you're done, just make sure you fix the piece. And you're going to tie these two pieces at the back. Tie it tight, make 2 knots. There we go. And we have the bow ready. Now what we're going to do is we're going to place it, sew it onto the Minnie Mouse. So you take your needle again, use one of these tails, whichever you find it longer, and take your Minnie Mouse. You can place it anywhere you like, either at the front like that or off to the side right here. I have done off to the side for this tutorial. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna place it where you want them to be, and use your sewing pins and place them to make sure it stays where you want it to be while you sew it in place. And go ahead and sew it to the Minnie Mouse that we have. You're just gonna go underneath, bring it up, and then make sure you go underneath from here into the bow. And back in and into the ball again. So you're going to do that a couple times. I would say twice on this side and twice on this side. And at the end, weave the end in and cut the long tails, the extra tails that we have. And there we have it. Our Minnie Mouse is ready. You also want to make sure when you're placing the bow that your ears are facing front, and that's where the bow goes. Don't place them at the back because this is the wrong side of the ear. The rest of the ball is pretty much the same. It's just the ears that you have to be careful about. And I have also added a little chain on the top. It's just a simple chain stitch, which I put it through from the bottom, brought it up and back into the ball, and tied a knot here to secure it. And this way you can use it on any bag, handbag, bagpacks, or as an ornament even if you like. And our Minnie Mouse is done. To make the Mickey Mouse, all we have to do is now is the same process as the Minnie Mouse. The only thing is that we don't do those little polka dots. Instead, we make these 2 buttons for the pants that Mickey Mouse used to wear. I'll show you how to make these. They're very easy. So you're going to take your white yarn and you're going to make a magic ring with 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just make sure you close it properly. And now we go into the first stitch and make a slip stitch. So pull it through and pull it through again. And now cut the yarn, leaving about 8 to 10 inches, just so you have enough piece to sew it in place later, and just pull it through. And for this end right here, we're gonna weave it in just for a couple of stitches and cut the rest. There we go, and just cut the rest off. And here we have it. You have the button ready. You're just gonna make 2 of these. Once you have both of them ready, you put them in place where you want them to be. Pin it in place like we did for the rest of the project. Just pin it in place to make it secure and sew it in. Sew it in place. And there we have it. The Mickey Mouse is ready as well. And with this one as well, just make sure the ears are facing the right side, facing front, where you add the buttons. And I have also added the chain onto this one as well. And this is it for this tutorial, Mickey and Minnie Mouse. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, and please post your pictures if you try to make this. I would love to see how yours looks like and what colors you have used. I would love to see your pictures. So please add them in the comment section below. And I'll see you next time with a new tutorial. Thanks for watching.